Could there be plans for CM Punk to lose his first big match now that he's back in WWE? Plus, Punk is not advertised for tonight's episode of Raw. Could that upset fans who bought tickets assuming to see the former AEW World Champion tonight on the program? Kevin Owens seemingly rules himself out of an undisputed Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns. Bruce Pritchard is set to undergo surgery. Some New Japan Pro Wrestling stars have laid out the challenge for the Ring of Honor 6-man Tag Team Championships. Ricochet returns to the ring after suffering a recent concussion, and more WWE cuts are expected from TKO. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about CM Punk and possible plans moving forward, and maybe an attitude check for the former AEW World Champion now that he's back in World Wrestling Entertainment. Of course, CM Punk is back in WWE, and it looks like his first feud is set in the company. Could be Punk finding himself facing off against Seth Rollins, but could Punk find himself on the losing end of his first match back within the company? Well, this is quite interesting stuff, certainly. CM Punk shocked the world when he returned to WWE at Survivor Series after almost 10 years away. If fans are to believe Punk's sweet promo on Raw last week, then Punk believes he is home and has been met with universal love. Well, almost possibly universal. Now, footage of Seth Rollins being held back from confronting CM Punk at Survivor Series went viral after Punk's appearance, and it looks like WWE is capitalizing on the very public dislike between the two. Seth Rollins and Punk now surely brewing. Punk could find himself facing feast or famine in his first WWE match in a decade. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer was asked if CM Punk could lose his first match back in WWE, and said that WWE could check his attitude by having that happen. He said, quote, "I think they may do that. They may do that to see his attitude. I could see that. I think from a business standpoint, that's the problem. From a pure business standpoint, if he had no baggage on him and everything like that, I would say he really should win. He's so over, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know you can go that way. I think he almost has to do something to prove he will do business." Now, CM Punk has not been confirmed for any WWE bouts as of yet, and could end up wrestling before a likely showdown with Rollins at the Royal Rumble, or possibly at WrestleMania next year. A win for Punk over Rollins could propel. Now, some people are wondering, what's the status of Punk tonight when it comes to Monday Night Raw? Well, as of right now, we don't know. He's certainly not advertised to appear just yet. CM Punk has not been advertised to appear on Raw in Albany, New York, and that possibly could lead to some upset fans. Punk, as I mentioned, made his shock return at Survivor Series a couple of Saturdays ago after almost 10 years away. Punk then appeared on the following Raw, where he addressed the fans in Nashville, Tennessee, and it seems like fans everywhere are clamoring to see the star once again, but this could lead to some possible issues for WWE. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that CM Punk returned to WWE, and it actually had led to the company selling a lot of tickets for Raw in Albany, New York, but it seems as if he won't be at the show this evening, and that could possibly lead to some upset fans who bought tickets expecting to see Punk there. Meltzer said, quote, "The thing is, there's going to be a lot of upset people because they sold almost 1,700 tickets in the last week for Albany for Raw, and that's for Punk. They never advertised him. The people just bought the tickets assuming he'd be there. That's a lot of tickets to move in a week, and that's the reason they moved, so we'll see." Now, Punk, of course, has been advertised for SmackDown in Providence, Rhode Island, but there's still a chance he appears on Raw. He does seem to be master of surprises at all. No word has come as to when Punk is going to compete in his first match back in the company, but it is speculated that he is going to have this feud against Seth Rollins. Now, people are still talking about his promo last week on Monday Night Punk that many fans have come to know and love. He said the following about Punk's return promo, quote, "I thought the glad handing on the way to the ring was not him. For somebody that was so like pipe bomb, it felt very contrived. At the end, it was like, oh shit, I better slip this in so I have some credibility. I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. I've heard that before. Friends in the Click, but they were there to make money when they jumped from WWE to WCW in 1996. So what are your thoughts on the promo? What are your thoughts on the comments that CM Punk could possibly lose his first match back in WWE? Do you think that is a possibility? And also, what are your thoughts on who he's going to be facing, Seth Rollins, the feud moving forward? What do you think Punk's going to be doing at WrestleMania? Had to say during a recent indie appearance, seemingly taking a shot at Punk.
No, I just want to say one thing. I'm home.
Now, let's talk about Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens has seemingly ruled out a possible future match against Roman Reigns, with many fans debating who from SmackDown who should be up to challenge the Tribal Chief at the Royal Rumble on January 27. One name that has been batted around is Kevin Owens. The prize fighter and the head of the table have perhaps more history against each other than any other throughout Reigns' record-breaking title run, with KO coming painfully close to winning Reigns' title on multiple occasions. Although one would think this would further fuel Owens to have another go at Reigns, it instead has done the opposite according to comments made by the 39-year-old in a recent interview with James Williams. Owens explained, quote, "I'll be honest, maybe a little too honest. I don't think the fans would like that, a rematch, because I've had my shot at Roman Reigns many times. For one reason or another, it didn't work out. I almost don't even want to try because I don't think that's what the fans want. They've seen it. I'm here for the fans. I want people to enjoy what I'm doing. So as much as I could be champion and go for that title again, I don't think it's right. So it's not in my plans." Now, following this past Friday's episode of SmackDown in Brooklyn, New York, it seems as if WWE's direction for Owens involves potentially challenging Logan Paul for the United States Championship instead. He's going to be one of the participants, one of the 8 stars in a #1 contenders tournament to take place in the coming week. However, Owens' status in the tournament may be in doubt following an injury announcement by WWE following Kevin Owens' match against Grayson Waller on SmackDown. Reportedly, he has suffered a broken hand. However, it appears that he's just storyline driven. Now, we've got a bit of an update when it comes to Bruce Pritchard. He's set to undergo shoulder surgery in the near future. Speaking on a Something to Wrestle podcast, WWE Executive Director Bruce Pritchard revealed he's set to go under the knife next week. Pritchard revealed, quote, "I said I would never get another shoulder surgery, and in 1 week," he points to his left shoulder, "this one gets cut and ripped apart. Labrum sewn up, and the rotator gets sewn up, and chips out of my ball joint, and all that good shit." Now, currently, as of right now, it's unclear how long Pritchard is going to be out of action for, how long he's going to be out of commission for. Of course, ironically, Pritchard actually was the one running Monday Night Raw this past Monday from Nashville, Tennessee, in Triple H's absence, because Triple H, the chief content officer of WWE, was missing the event due to being in Los Angeles, California, along with WWE President Nick Khan. Triple H and Khan have reportedly been working on securing a new media rights deal for Raw, with both SmackDown and NXT recently being announced for deals on USA Network and the CW Network, respectively. Of course, we get any more details on future plans for either, we'll let you know. Now, switching to Ring of Honor, Final Battle is coming up soon, and it appears that New Japan Pro Wrestling stars Great-O-Khan and Haner have seemingly challenged for the championship gold at the upcoming Final Battle pay-per-view. Ring of Honor is set to hold their final pay-per-view event of 2023, with Final Battle on Friday, December 15 from Garland, Texas. Ahead of the show, 2/3 of the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, Korn and Toa Leona of the Gates of Agony, took the trip over to Japan to take part in the New Japan World Tag League 2023 tournament. On December 3rd, World Tag League show, United Empire's Great-O-Khan and Haner defeated Gates of Agony in the A block of the tournament. Following the bout, United Empire stole the duo's Ring of Honor World Six-Man titles and taunted them. During the post-match comments backstage, Great-O-Khan issued a challenge to the Mogul Embassy to defend the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team titles against the United Empire. Adding on to this, Haner said, quote, "What is this? ROH Six-Man World Tag Team Championship, Ring of Honor, AEW, you stole something that I wanted, and now you're turning it into a triple crown defended by guys that haven't wrestled outside America, but they have the guts to call themselves world champions. I know all you Americans, you think your country is the center of the world, or your Hollywood movies, the global community, when it's just America, Canada, England. No, this is the world. I'm Mongolian, a Hawaiian, an Italian, a Filipino, some Aussies, a British. Could be anybody we choose, anybody that wants it. I was looking forward to this entire tour, and we conquered you. We are the kings, and we are the warriors. So whenever you like, let's bang again." In response, the Gates of Agony sent a message to their new rivals in New Japan. Korn stated, quote, "At this point in the war and the battle, we will not fall. At this point, we are fighting like our lives depend on it. We are fighting for pride. At this point, we're going to make sure that the United Empire and whoever's next is going to have to give everything that they have in their bodies, everything that they have in their souls. They're going to leave depleted if they want to defeat us. I said we defeat the United Empire. We will separate them. We will take on the Journeyman. Again, we are a victim of circumstance. We are facing faction after faction, and we stand on our 2 feet. If you did not just saw what we did, if you did not just see what they had to give, you have no idea what's in store." Toa Liona followed this by grabbing his title and saying, "You want, come take," before sending another message to Great O'Khan. So it looks like possibly that match might be set up for Final Battle. Now, we got a bit of an update on Ricochet as well, after reportedly being placed in concussion protocol by WWE following his participation in a four-way Intercontinental Championship #1 contender match on the November 6th Raw. Ricochet has made his return to the ring. In his return, Ricochet took on Big Bronson Reed in a pair of WWE Live Event Holiday Tour matches, first on December 2nd in Bangor and then another in Portland as well. There were some worries for the 35-year-old when it was reported by the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer that Ricochet had no memory of much of his match on November 6th, with the spotlight put on him due to his role in the finish. The conclusion of the match was reportedly supposed to see The Miz and Ivar score pins simultaneously over both Bronson Reed and Ricochet. However, Ricochet would kick out, leading to confusion. With Gunther knocking off The Miz in their eventual Intercontinental title match at Survivor Series, we are still yet to find out who was going to be next to face off against the Ring General. While it's unclear when we can expect to see Ricochet back on WWE television, his return to action is a positive sign that it could be relatively soon. So good news for Ricochet. Finally, of course, last week there were cuts when it came to WWE at a corporate level, and we could expect to see more in the coming days. WWE recently swung the axe again in their corporate offices, but Dave Meltzer thinks there still could be more bad news coming for WWE employees. WWE let go several senior vice presidents in recent days, following over 100 WWE employees being let go after the Endeavor takeover of the company was completed. This also came at the same time as one NXT star, Mackenzie Mitchell, was let go, as uncertainty over people's long-term future in the company remains. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer delved into the people who had been let go by WWE and believes that if Endeavor is following the same playbook as when they took over UFC, more cuts are still to come. Quote, they cut 5 senior vice presidents. They've cut Michael White, who's on all the conference calls, the investor conference calls every quarter, and I figured the last investment conference call was completely different. I mean, there was no Nick Khan, nobody really from the WWE standpoint. It was recently Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro. They're handling the business. So of most of the people who were cut from the business, it was the redundancy thing. They already have people in Endeavor for jobs. Craig Stimmel, who's the head of global sales. I'm sure they got plenty of people there. Karen Mullane, who was the chief accounting officer, and then Stuart Fry, who was the senior vice president of streaming technology, and Matt Geyer, who was the senior vice president of gaming. They were some of the key people who were cut. Michael White's been with the company for probably 17 years, and as always, on those calls going through everything, I mean, no surprises. Like I said, when the deal went through, I mean, when the UFC deal went through, there were no sacred cows. I mean, they cut a lot of people in who built the company from an organizational standpoint, and you didn't know who was going to get cut and who wasn't going to get cut, and a lot of major people got cut. And the same thing here, when they did the last round of cuts, is that they said there's going to be no more cuts. There'll be more cuts once they examine things and everything like that. Yeah, I haven't seen the stock price since they did the cuts, but I guess we'll see that in a couple of days. So there you go. That's the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.